everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood illegit here. I'm going to make this video in a replayer showing a tournament I just won on PokerStars. It was a $100 buy-in, 1,400 player tournament. I got first for $25K, which was my biggest score to date. I'm skipping the very early stages just because not too many interesting spots came up really, and because just because I want to have time, I don't want to make it too long of a video. And early on in the tournament, I'm going to skip some of the more irrelevant hands and just look at some interesting spots. But eventually, I'm just going to start showing every single hand. So, all right, so we'll start here. I got ace-7 off in the big blind. Blinds are getting in the middle stages here. It folds to DNA to RNA on the button, who is a regular player. He's he plays high volume, lots of tournaments. I've played a lot with him actually. It folds to him here. He's shoving a wide range here on a 12x stack, and he shoves the button with the antes and a 12x stack. He's shoving pretty wide here, though he's not shoving super wide. That is, a lot of regulars will be shoving wider than he is. I think his range is a little more narrow. With that in mind, this is kind of close. If it was ace-7 suited, I think I snap call. If it's like ace-9 off, I think I call pretty quick. Ace-8 off, ace-7 off are kind of borderline, but I decide to call, and I'm behind, and we both flop a pair, but he holds up. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now let's see here. He's down to let's see what happens this hand. Okay, fold. Folds to him on the button again. This time he's got about a what is that? A 13x stack. So if he had a weakish hand like ace-7 off or ace-8 off, I expect him to jam here again. He just opens small. He could also be doing this with a weaker hand, knowing that he's going to be raise folding. Though I don't expect him to raise fold a ton on a 13x stack. With 2 5s, I go ahead and shove on him. It's really not that good, considering I think he just jam a lot of his medium strength hands on a 13x stack. I think this is a lot stronger. So this is kind of a bad play in retrospect against this player in particular. And he has, well, let's see, he has ace-king. So he did have a huge hand, and I happen to have to be slight favorite. But against his range there, when he's on a 13x stack and he doesn't just open jam the button, his range is probably pretty narrow. So my reshove there is probably not that good, actually. Okay, a couple hands later, this guy opens an early position. At this point in the tourney, I don't recall reads if I had any. Anyways, I have over 20 big blinds. I got like 30 something big blinds, 34 or something like that. So I decided to just flat here. I don't really want to 3-bet and get it in for 30 big blinds, 34 big blinds, whatever it is. It's kind of excessive, so I kind of want to see a flop in position. I whiff the flop. He makes a pretty large size c-bet, so I just give it up. Ace-4 suited here. I think I just raise and take it down. Okay, that's uneventful. Okay, let me skip ahead some. Okay. Alright, folds around to late position. I'm on a 20 big blind stack here. Usually on a 20 big blind stack, if someone else has opened, I'm either gonna shove or fold. Like this is a really good re-steal spot for me. So if I had a medium to weak strength hand here, I might re-shove as a bluff / semi-bluff. So rather than make a smaller bet trying to get action, I do the same thing here, hoping it looks kind of weak and hoping to get light calls from, well, I expect him to call with most pocket pairs anyways, so it's basically just a value shove, but he folds. Very next hand, folds to me here in the small blind. Big blind, he's got like 14 big blinds, so this is an easy shove when big blind only has 14 big blinds. Shove, he makes a pretty standard call, but I standardly win and shove it. Okay. Alright, this is one of the more interesting non-standard hands that I played this tourney. Okay, it goes I raise in middle position with 4s. That's pretty standard for me on these stack sizes. Folds a big blind who I know is a bad player. He defends. Flop is 8, 10, 7. He checks. I think this hits his range pretty hard, his defending range. So I kind of want to just basically give up here. So more or less, or like try to spike a 4 or something. So I just decide to check back. Turns at 10. Now he leads very weak in this spot. So I decided to turn my hand into a bluff here. I think he has an 8 or a 7 a lot, but I'm going to raise here and then just bet a lot of rivers. And so let's see how that happens. If he calls. I think he'll call with an 8 or a 7 a lot. So, sorry. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, he calls. And then river's a 7. And I have about, I was planning on shoving most rivers, and this is one of them. I just don't think he has a 10 hardly ever here, and or a 7 for that matter. Now that another one's come out, well, okay. Now that he min donks into me, I don't think he has a 10 ever. He has a 7 extremely rarely, and he has an 8 a lot, or like pocket 9s, or ace high, like ace 9, or you know, or like ace X with diamonds, stuff like that. He has a lot of those, and I really don't think he can call a shove here very often, and I think it'll be profitable long run, a shove here over his min bet, so I go ahead and shove. He tanked with like a long time and finally folded. I'm guessing with like an 8, like 8, 9, or some hand like that. Possibly a 7, but I doubt it. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I get in a couple hands against that same guy. Comes to him, he open limps a 14x stack in late position, which is pretty terrible. I just check my option, big blind. I check to him, he min bets. By now I know he's just a huge fish, so I know my hand's probably good and I want to get value here, so I just check raise him. Shoving basically almost all turns. So turns a king, which is not really a scare card. That doesn't really hit any of his range. So I just go ahead and shove, and he folds. And then a couple hands later, same guy limps on a 9x stack. Again, really atrocious. I just raise 3.8 to isolate him, hoping he'll shove, obviously, but gets back to him and he folds. He limp folded a 9x stack, really atrocious. Okay, now I'll skip ahead a little bit again. Okay, I got ace 10 suited here. This is standard open. What are we, 8-handed or something like that with antes? Super standard. Everyone folds. Alright, skip ahead again. Guy opens the middle position. We're pretty deep here. The set odds aren't really there, but I'm not necessarily playing solely to flop a set. I have position. I can win a pot without flopping a set sometimes. It's kind of close call, but I decide to flat. It's not a great flop, so when he c-bets a pretty decent amount, I decide to just fold.